So good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I have from four members of the band, I have almost the whole band. They're from Dublin, Ireland, and they're called Uragh, and they're like an experimental, modern sounding experimental rock band. I heard alternative in the music. I heard what some people call degent and progressive tendencies. And there's a part on a song that I heard like a guitar tone that I'm like, that reminded me of a Korn or Deftones. So I have three members of the band here with me. So first of all, guys, thank you for joining me today on the couch.
Oh, no problem.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to be here.
So we have introduce yourself and say what you do in the band.
Who starts?
Let's start with Marcelo. We'll go.
You just started, bro.
Yeah, so I'm Marcelo. I'm the guitar player, and yeah, I'm maybe the founder, the first integrant of Uragh.
You are.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was second on board. My name's Jason. I'm the drummer.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I joined a few weeks later. My name is Sebastian. I play the bass.
Awesome. Yeah, and I was reading. This is a band that formed like a year and a half ago, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It's a little bit
years.
more than that now. Yeah,
Jason and I first rehearsed 2 years ago, 2 years and a month ago, right, Jason?
Yeah.
February.
Pretty much just over 2 years now. Yeah, just over
Awesome.
2 years.
So the name of the band Uragh is very interesting. I googled like the meaning. So what is the meaning of the band name to you guys?
As you said, is an area in Ireland, right? But they also use it as the name of a stone circle. In the west of Ireland, and mainly there are many stone circles, and one of them is called Uragh. And I happened to be into this place maybe about a little before that I formed the band, maybe 2 years and a half ago. And then the stone circle itself caught a lot of my attention, and I got that name in my head. But I was not thinking about using this to form a band with this name or anything. It's just that I started writing some songs, some demo songs. I didn't even know any of the guys yet. And I created a playlist on SoundCloud, and I just had to use a name for that playlist. And I remember like Uragh, and then I use Uragh. And in fact, it was not only after like even Craig joined at the band that we settled, okay, let's use Uragh.
Yeah, we didn't have a name for.
Yeah, we didn't have the name for months.
A long time.
Yeah.
So how did the other members join? How did you guys meet?
Well, I think I answered. Marcelo, did I put an ad out or did you answer my ad? We met on a board, on an online message board.
Yeah, I got like highly motivated to find people, to find folks after writing those demos that I was mentioning, right? I got like very motivated. I wanted to play, and I started like looking around for absolutely everyone. And I found, so Jason had an ad on boards.ie. Yeah. But it was an old ad. I was not even active. I don't know if you were looking at or I don't know. Very creative. I was looking for ads, and I was also looking for messages of folks that answer in other threads about drumming and etc. And I happened to find Jason, sending him a message, and it was like a matter of weeks we met for the first jam. And Sebastian, we wanna talk about you because you were.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I think I put in an ad, right? Gumtree, which is a platform hardly anyone uses in Ireland. But I just literally relocated. I'm originally from Germany, so I just relocated to Ireland in 2021, and I was like, okay, I got to find some dudes and I got to play some music. That was one of the things I really wanted to do. And I knew that Ireland and especially Dublin had a great scene and all that. So I was like, okay, new place, and we were all just emerging from this from COVID lockdowns, which were really strict here in Europe. And I think we were all just dying to get out there and be creative, like so many bands right now, right? So many of them have been founded during the lockdowns, during COVID, or just after. So yeah, I posted this ad, and I think Marcelo got in touch with me after a
The
while. And,
opposite, I guess. Yeah, you're the only one that's reached me out.
oh, I did, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't remember. Okay, I reached out,
I
and then
found
we met in,
Jason. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I remember we
I
met in
forget.
in a
Yeah.
pub, right?
exactly.
We met in a pub. We still had to sign up, and remember,
That's true.
I don't know, and sanitize your hands and all that shit. So COVID.
That's right.
Anyway,
Yeah. First time we met, we went for a pint, a few beers after, you
Yeah,
know, just to get to know, just to get
like
to know each other a bit
a
more.
man date.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. We start talking, we start chatting, we start like knowing each other very well.
And
Yeah,
the
it was a
important
date,
thing is
lads.
that no one said send nudes. Then you'll be like, yeah,
No,
we don't
not
want
not
that
initially. Not
guy.
initially.
We don't guy that we don't want that guy in the band. We don't want that weird guy in the band. So
Not at the start, anyway. It's a bit much to lead with that.
Oh, awesome. So you guys so yeah, I think you formed like basically pretty old school, because in the past a lot of bands got together through ads, only that not internet ads, because that's how Metallica formed. Like I think Lars put an ad and he met James. So you like that's the old school way, but in a modern time. So you guys get together and then you start meeting each other. How soon did the jamming and the music start?
Okay, I think.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, right away.
Marcelo had a lot of demos kind of pre-made on his Guitar Pro, so he'd send them over to me before I ever even met him, you know. So before I met him, I already knew 2 songs that he'd done, so we just played straight away. Like, those are older songs now that we're not really.
one
We've
of
kind
them,
of changed.
one of
We've
them
changed
we still
direction a
play.
bit.
One of them we still play, right? Decimate.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
we do. Yeah,
That
Decimate.
was our first single.
Our first
Decimate.
single.
It's
Yeah,
on
that was
Spotify.
not on the Decimate is not on the album, because I saw the
No.
other two, Monarch and the Winding Gyre are on the album.
They're on the album.
Decimate is not on the album. So because I've listened to the album.
Yeah.
So the album's gonna be out digitally on April 19th. So tell us a little bit about you guys' musical influences, because I hear a lot of like different styles on the album. So let's start again with Marcelo. What were your earliest musical influences?
Oh, this is. I didn't want to be the first one to answer this because it's very.
This could go on for a while.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like, you mean just the influences that I use on Uragh, right? Or in general, my influences.
Oh, in general, yours.
Yeah, so well, yeah, this can go for hours. But like in summary, like when I was very young, I started playing mainly because of Nirvana, and I really like to play Nirvana. And from that was just like a spiral into like heavier and heavier stuff. So I don't remember the order, but from Nirvana, I started to get some Iron Maiden, of course, and then like Black Sabbath. And then I started to get more like newer stuff at the time, which you already like saw in some of the things that you were right, like
Yeah.
Korn and Deftones. That definitely was the case.
Newer.
Yeah, at that
As
time,
in
they were kind
you.
of new. Yeah. And they were all present somehow into the playing, into the riffs, for sure. But I guess now looking, advancing many years and seeing Aura, there are many recent influences that we have, like from bands like maybe Converge and Cynic, Death Heaven, even I don't know some Machine Head. I don't talk much. I guess the other guys they are better to identify and associate some of those influences. But my influences are kind of there, and I like basically many different things. I cannot pinpoint.
Yeah, you're fairly open-minded when it comes to music.
Yeah, and you as well. So then I'll just give a heads up. Jason and I, when we first met, we had many similar tastes. So yeah, Jason, go ahead. And
Yeah, well, I think one of the reasons you noticed my ad originally is because I mentioned, Deftones and Gojira possibly as some of my influences.
like two.
Tool, yeah, big time. I'd say when I started, like what first got me into heavy music was back in the day of burning CDs and all this, burning tapes. Someone burned the Toxicity CD for me, and that was the first heavy record album I ever listened to. And then I bought the Black Album and some classic kind of metal to mainly Metallica, and there was even, I don't even want to talk about, but I think I did buy a Guns N' Roses CD very early on.
Don't
You
be
bought a Guns N'
ashamed of
Roses?
that.
I think, yeah, I did actually.
Which one
I
did
only
you
noticed
buy?
it the other day.
Which one did you buy?
Appetite for Destruction.
I thought you were gonna say the spaghetti incident or something like that.
Oh no.
And I
Well,
would be like, okay.
I wouldn't cite them as a major influence now, but they probably did help me on the way. You know, like Marcel said, then over time you get desensitized to what's heavy, and then you want a bit more, you know, a bit heavier. So Meshuggah, Pantera followed, you know, I was obsessed with them for years, and obsessed with all their drummers as well. They were a big part of me getting into metal was me getting into drumming as well, you know, hearing different drummers playing inspired me, you know.
Yeah, makes sense. What about you, Sebastian?
Well, for me, it was like heavy music. So I grew up, I'm born 81, right? So I'm a bit older than the other guys, a few years, but in some ways it makes quite a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I think what started it all for me was when someone gave me an AC/DC tape in 5th grade. That was like around 91, and that was Let There Be Rock. And I still love all the Bon Scott stuff to this day. And I have to mention AC/DC because the guys hate them.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, and then you know, progressed into heavier stuff. You know, Metallica, of course, the Black Album came out back then. Nevermind came out, and I think like for all of us, Nirvana is like a common kind of thing.
Yeah.
And actually, we jam a lot to Nirvana songs every now and then, right? We play "Come as You Are" and some stuff of Nevermind.
Yeah.
So Nirvana was a huge thing, the whole grunge thing that emerged back then. But a lot parallel to that was definitely death metal, which blew up in the early 90s. And back in the day, there was still tape trading going on. So
big thing in Germany then as well, Seb.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Germany was, yeah, you know, there was a big scene. You know, all those bands were coming on tour as well. So someone gave me a tape with Dayside on it, Obituary, you know, Morbid Angel, all the death metal classics, and pretty much that's how I got into more extreme kind of metal music. All of a sudden, all those black metal bands from Scandinavia were kind of like getting big as well. So I started listening to black metal, which I listen to this day. And yeah, and then yeah, that's kind of my jam to this day. Like I don't really listen to much modern stuff. I think Deftones, early Korn, I was interested in that, but then when this whole new metal stuff exploded, I was kind of out, you know, like it didn't interest me too much. And then I actually abandoned metal for a long time, you know, and I explored all sorts of other stuff. And then the band that got me back into metal end of the noughties, 2000s was Mastodon, you know, because I was like,
awesome.
oh, that's some mighty shit right there. Like
a worthy band.
Oh, that blew me away. That they brought something with them that wasn't there for me before, you know, some progressive element, but also fucking heavy and you know, and rocky and all sorts of things. So that's how I like got back into metal again. And yeah. But there are some things that we all like, you know, and it's nice talking to these guys because they have different backgrounds and different influences, and it definitely opens up my horizon to new stuff as well, you know. And I think
and vice versa.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
Yeah.
And for Craig also, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
because we all have like a lot of overlaps, and in many cases we have like some overlaps are like 3 out of 4 love something, and then
Yeah.
one person they don't like very much. But then in some cases we have like many things that everyone likes it. Like
Mhm.
Rammstein, we're all going together.
Yeah.
So
Gonna be
they're
our
digging
first.
in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen Rammstein in concert. It's an amazing concert they put on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I
Yeah.
think when I was listening to your band, I'm like, this band has a lot of different influences because sometimes, like every song has something different, and you have shorter songs, like really long songs with the prog stuff. So I want to show the artwork for the album that's coming out, and I haven't said the name. So it's Maelstrom. So it makes sense because Maelstrom is like a storm. So it's like a storm of music, if you will. Talk a little bit about the album cover. What were you guys trying to convey?
You wanna go, Sam?
Yeah, sure.
This is
So yeah, actually the title is Maelstrom.
Maelstrom, yeah.
Yeah, Strom. So yeah, we liked the sound of the word. It was a word that sounded a bit weird to us, and
What's the
you know,
meaning of Maelstrom?
a maelstrom basically can be, in the water, some kind of
like a storm in the water, or
So I was
storm in
right.
the water, some vortex that kind of sucks you in and pulls you under,
not just water. Now it could be in the air. It could be a in the weather phenomenon or something.
Yeah, but it can also have an emotional context, and we kind of like that, the flexibility of this word, because you could apply this to all sorts of things that we are trying to, or especially Craig, who's mainly writing the lyrics, or who is writing the lyrics, that he's trying to convey in his lyrics, and you can apply this to many things. So Maelstrom is also something that could represent an inner kind of turmoil, right? That you have an emotional turmoil, like something related to mental health as well, something that's going on in the world, politically. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's why we were interested in the title, and we thought it represented our songs pretty well.
And you can tell where it is. So it all makes sense that it could be like a mental storm, a mental struggle, because I was reading, so a lot of the lyrics are very like more personal and looking inward. We don't have the singer here to go deep into the lyrics,
Yeah.
but when you were choosing the singles, I think the first one was Monarch. By the way, I saw the YouTube music, the behind the scenes on the beach, and I've always find it very curious because there's a lot of metal bands like doing music videos next to the beach, like why the beach? Like
Why the beach? Oh, it's a very simple answer for that.
what's the simple answer? I thought,
Hey,
yeah,
it's
because
free,
it
free
is
location,
free location,
and it looks nice.
and it,
We
Am
are
I
lucky.
right?
Yeah, we are lucky here in Ireland that we have so much coast, and the coastline is gorgeous, and it's beautiful, and it's not a very populated country as well. So you have lots of lonesome, abandoned
you can't
spots.
do that in Puerto Rico. You
No, I say
you
no.
can't film in a beach because
No?
first of all you're gonna see so many asses in
Oh,
the
terrible.
video that
Oh,
Maybe that's
poor
not a
you,
bad
poor
thing.
Puerto Ricans. I'm so sorry.
it'll be like
Yeah,
people will be like, is this a hip hop video? No, it's not a hip hop.
some reggaeton, no, it's
Yeah.
not. No, it was just
Maybe
some.
that would be an angle to go for, though.
We should come to Puerto Rico and have some
Well,
asses
I'm
on.
surprised that you know reggaeton.
Ah,
Listen, it's a global phenomenon at this stage. You can't
I
escape it.
know. I
we
remember
have a lot of
being,
South Americans here in Ireland now, so
Oh
oh,
yeah.
and I remember being in 2005 in Amsterdam, walking with my friend through the red light district, walking people. I was walking.
yeah,
A lot of people,
Yeah,
a
sure.
lot of people
Yeah,
walk through
walking.
there and nothing happens. And I started hearing like reggaeton music at that time. I'm like, why is that shit here?
Why did it follow me?
Yeah, I'm like, I went away. So yeah, no, the
Yeah.
video, it's in the beach, but Monarch, it's a cool song. It's got some good bass parts to it. Talk to me a little bit about what that song is about.
Ah,
what it is about.
lyrically,
Well, or the song in general. I know we don't have the singer here, but yeah, I thought that
yeah,
it felt like a pretty strong single. And it opens the album as well.
it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
It
So
was
Marcelo,
it was a challenge of a song, really was.
it was. It took ages
It
to
took a
learn for
lot.
us.
It
And so
took a long time
Marcelo,
to learn
who
this.
is our main songwriter, really, he came up with the riffs, and you know, as usual, when he comes up with some demos and he shows stuff to us, we're like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
you know. And that
it's very
song,
very intimidating. It's like you're at the bottom of a mountain when Marcelo presents a new song to us. You know, you're at the base of the mountain and you're looking up and you're like, I have to scale. I have to
so
scale this
many
now.
riffs, so many time signature changes, so many this, so many that, breaks, whatever.
Loads
And
of
it's like,
fun.
oh, Jesus, how are we ever gonna master this, you know? And it took us a good while, and now the song really flows when we play it, right? But
Yeah. No,
there were moments I thought
once
where
it
we
goes
were,
into your muscle memory, as I always say,
yeah.
it's not going anywhere.
But
It's a
there
part of me now.
There are always intentions, right, behind the purpose of the song, and I always remember, even with any new songs, it's always important to say, oh, but what we want to do here is like to reach, like it has to be like a surprise, or it has to be very intense and like high energy, you know. And
Hmm.
with Monarch, I think it was always about this, right, to be very intense and very high energy. And I remember that I was thinking, I was even in doubt about the end section because like there is like a break, right? And then
The
it
light
gets
base.
back heavy still, but it's not as heavy as like before. And I was in doubt to
Mhm.
should we even like remove this and just leave the heaviness and end on the heaviness. But yeah, was mainly this.
It kind
Yeah,
of
but I think
evolves as
the other
you're
part helps the flow of the song. And
the
then
slower
you have
part.
then you have the Wildering Gyre, which is the other single that you have. And the music video, it's, I don't know why, it's very 90s. You know, you're playing like in a shed and the singer is putting the face in the water. And I really, that was the one that really, I'm like, this looks like an old school Deftones music video. Because if you
Yeah.
remember Chino Moreno, on that music video for not Be Quiet and Far Away, like the one where the sharks, oh my god,
Summer, Mild Summer.
My
yeah,
own
Final
summer, yeah.
Summer, where he puts the face in the water. When I was young, I actually
Yeah.
thought that they actually filmed that with actual great white sharks. I'm like, oh my god, they're
Yeah.
so they're so heavy
I
that
doubt it.
they feel, and Chino like just look at the shark and screamed at it. And I'm like, no, no,
I doubt they did. I actually don't know. Did they? They didn't do that,
no, of
really.
course they
Did they?
didn't.
How could you do that?
No, they added the sharks from footage, but they did. I think
Did a great job.
yeah, they filmed that like on a set or a lake, and then they
Hmm.
added the sharks. But like it looks so fucking good that you think that he's
Oh,
actually screaming at the sharks, and
yeah, yeah.
and so yeah, and that
I
video,
see how you made that connection there.
yeah,
Yeah.
because obviously,
Consciously, maybe we were influenced there.
yeah,
Yeah, without realizing it.
and the
I mean,
song has a part on the guitar there's like an effect that I'm like, that really sounds like a corn type of effect. So
Yeah.
I heard that. I'm like, I'll ask them if that, because it sounded like something that not Monkey, but something that Brian Head would do, because
Head Welch, yeah.
he's the genius in corn. Because when he left, they sucked without him. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't the same. So Marcelo,
Yeah, true.
tell me a little bit, because you write the music for on that one.
Yeah, for those, I definitely there are some core influences. I don't know exactly if you ask me like, okay, what was the influence like in a certain section or something? I
There's
cannot
a
tell
part
you.
in the song where you do something with the guitar that's like it's like something that sounds like something that
I know the bit you're talking
Korn
about.
did, you know, when they do detune the guitars and they made like that ring sound. So there's like a
The
part
one,
in the
yeah,
song.
yeah. This is the one at the car. They definitely use it. Like
Whammy bit.
Pantera uses
I
a
have to
lot.
think Tom Morello. To me, it's Tom Morello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So, but Tom Morello
like,
then does like all the
Yeah.
DJ noises and and stays there for a while. But yeah, I kind of heard
As
that.
he got a lot into Tom Morello, right? But when I think about Whammy, I always remember of like Zembeck, he was always using it.
Mhm.
And also, and it doesn't look like, but Rammstein, they also use him in a few songs. The Whammy is very
Yeah.
small sections, but I always liked, and I don't know, I guess I just like the Whammy. I like the how it sounds.
It
Uh,
definitely cuts through a lot.
Well,
I should stop using that in so many songs, maybe,
well,
but
hey, when you said Whammy, all of a sudden Kirk Hammett got excited somewhere. Because
He
he
knows when the word is mentioned.
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to coin, like he abuses the whammy bar. But then you have other songs on this record that are like super long. You have like a song like Capsize, Regrowth at the Mouth of Sickness. They're like 9-minute songs, and the album closer, Mo Dia Malith. So that's
Diamant.
yeah, I was really impressed with those like longer songs, because in the longer songs you can tell like a Meshuggah influence and that degen. So it was awesome that you get to do so many like different styles and alternative and mix them into well. And I think that makes you guys interesting band, because like every song has like some different elements to it. So was it harder writing those like long epic songs?
yeah, kind of maybe. And I'll not say maybe harder, but challenging in some aspects. But I would say like Monarch, which is not as long as Modiama, was like maybe harder, not only for writing but for development, because all of the songs, the structures I come with from this, but then each of the guys changes and like comes with the other parts. So there is like a process within, right? It's not like a we do and it's done. And sometimes also we chop songs and move parts around and capsize, for example. But that the main point of this is that I think that it's not something that is planned, so it's something that simply goes happening. And because of this, the process is easier, because if it's logical and makes sense and you're not trying to force or like put something like I want to do this because I just want to do, there's no like a strict logic or a strict motif behind that. I think that it makes it easier. So sometimes we're just writing something that's like, oh, it's a 9-minute song, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I think
and
it's
it's
not
not.
hard
It
to
felt
me.
right. It
From
needed to
the
be that long.
outside, it's not hard for Marcelo to write songs, because literally he likes, I don't know what
He's got riffs for
he
days.
turns them out. Um, it's harder for the band to comprehend, his songs and then actually come up with their own individual bits, like
He humanized them a bit, because put
from
our
the
own touch on them,
Which are very,
yeah.
if you listen to demos before, like it's kind of is that different song, like in all those aspects, almost all
Yeah.
of the bass lines and the drums also of the even the small things, like things that I cannot think about myself, but then but we had like some crash here, I had some note there, which makes like a big difference, because many of our influences they're very minimalist, right? They're not complex songwrites or this kind of stuff, and makes a
Yeah.
big.
I think sometimes Marcelo is even like, wow, when he hears the end result, the song, what it turned out to be, he's like, wow, I can't believe this song sounds, that's what it sounds like now. I had not envisioned this when I wrote this song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
you have
I
like a
think
shorter song like Wegiges and Beats, which is like a minute. And I know Sebastian, you contributed to that one.
Gewissensbiss, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I don't know
But the
what the
short
hell that means.
gentleman,
What does that mean?
Gewissensbiss is, yeah, my language, German, and basically it literally means something that bites your conscience. Biss means a bite, something that kind of gnaws at your conscience when you feel guilty about something, when you have something on your mind, when something's eating away at you. That's basically what Gewissensbiss is. And yeah, I don't know why I came up with that title
Cool word.
specifically. It's just kind of the music kind of evoked that
Yeah,
feeling
because
in me.
that's like the shortest. That's like an interlude type of track. That
It's just
Yeah.
literally an interlude, and it was a bit random how it ended up. I was just playing around with this figure one day, with this kind of a bass line in the rehearsal space, and Marcelo said, I kind of like that. And then you know, it kind of took on the dynamic from there, and it ended up on the album, which is nice, you know.
Yeah.
But
It's a little different moment.
Yeah, I think the good thing about a band like Uragh, with the different sounds is like I could see you guys touring with different types of bands. Like I could see you like opening for Deftones, but I could also see you like going on tour with a Mastodon or Gojira. Obviously, I'm saying big names. Like,
One
but
step at a
you know,
time, Hector.
because
One
there's
step at a time.
bands that there are certain style and they can only like play in like some places, but a band like yours that mixes alternative, progressive, degen styles can play with different.
It's funny you say that because we've talked about it before that we don't feel like we really fit in anywhere. Yeah, so that
yeah,
does
so
make.
we don't really know if it's a blessing or a curse at this
Well,
stage, you know,
I like
because
it because I grew up in the in the 90s is where I really got into music, and the 90s was all about like musical experimentation.
It was.
So I think that's why to me that's something normal. Like when you had like a Lollapalooza concert where you had like a James Addiction playing with Ice Cube, who's a rapper. So yeah, that's something cool, and that's what I was listening to your album. I heard like every song has some different elements to it, which is good because it doesn't like sometimes we're a band like all the songs sound the same. You can get bored. Unless you're like AC/DC, which I love them too. Yeah, even though that every song, like every album, sounds the same. But yeah,
They don't need to change. Their
no, like
formula is
you know
working
what would
perfectly.
happen if they dare change? People would be pissed.
Oh man, there'd be an
Yeah.
uproar. There'd be
They'll be like, they
the
sold
streets would be on
out.
fire.
They've only been playing 50 years, but they sold out, or
Oh,
something.
you couldn't change after that all that time. Like, oh my god.
No, you couldn't change. So you guys are releasing the album independently. So what are the plans for Uragh this year after you release the album?
I think at this stage, you know, obviously, you know, we are trying to pitch the album to labels and stuff like that, you know, but at, you know, we're doing that because we feel like we have to do it, and it would obviously would be great if we find a label or if something would happen, but we don't really count on that, you know. I think at this stage it is to get as much as attention as we can, you know, to be on have opportunities like today, to have a few interviews, to get a few reviews, get a bit of press attention, play as many gigs as possible to promote the album, and you know we'll take it
Have a
from
fun time doing it.
The good
there.
thing is that you got the first interview with the best one.
Yeah, right. I mean, where can we go from here? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, man.
maybe we peaked too soon, you know.
Yeah.
No. You didn't jump like they say in the States, jump the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say that's like a common expression, like when someone they jump the shark. So yeah, so you're doing this, you know, it's do it yourself, it's independently
Even our videos were done
independently
independent.
released. So but it's good because every band starts this way. And yeah, I like the music. That's why I wanted to chat with you guys.
Thank you.
And I like the vibe of the band. So I would recommend, you know, everyone, are you going to be selling it through Bandcamp?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
The pre-sale has begun. Pre-orders have begun. So I think €6.99 on Bandcamp. Don't know how much it is in dollars at the moment, but
Just a little bit more, but and for now it's gonna be digital. So I'm guessing the plan is build a following, a base, and maybe later release this physically. Are there some shows planned for people? Maybe some local shows in Ireland that you guys are playing?
There certainly is. Yeah. Well, we're playing this Saturday, and it's going to be our debut in Cork, down the south of Ireland. So we're looking forward to that. We've got our hostel booked, and we've got our day planned for Saturday. So that'll be fun. We're in a competition now, the Metal to the Masses competition here in Ireland. It's like it's really cool. It's like a big battle of the bands, kind of metal hard rock bands. and the winner, there's like different, there's one for Ireland, Northern Ireland, and there's ones all over the UK. And the winners get to play at Bloodstock Open Air Festival.
Awesome.
So a big festival.
So people that watch this,
we're hoping
they can vote for you in your website, right? I put the link to your website.
Unfortunately, you can only vote when you're there in person. So, look, but we're through to the semi-finals. Last year we got to the final, and we were just pips to winning it. We're hoping to go all the way this year.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, like in the beginning of the 2000s, when they did something like that with Ozfest, that like the band that won got to open Ozfest or something.
Yeah, I do remember. I think Warped Tour used to do this type of thing.
I think Warped Tour did it. I remember the band that won for Ozfest, they were called A Dozen Furies. They put out an album, and then you never fucking heard from them again.
Oh, fuck. Don't, hopefully.
Yo, and
don't jinx us.
It sucked because the album was good.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. So
well, sometimes you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, the band's personal lives, you know, things can fall apart, you know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So beside that show that you're gonna have on Saturday, is there like some other shows that you have planned for later?
Yeah, we are actually we're gonna have our biggest show to date on the 3rd of May, and we are supporting Earn. I don't know if you know Earn from the UK.
Oh yeah, they put out a great album last year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
unbelievable.
A Feast on Sorrow. Is it A Feast on
Sorrow? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't review that album because the day that album came out, I was so sick that I felt I couldn't do the album review. But it was
no harm in doing a retrospective look back at it, man. It's a great album.
Yeah, it's a great album. Yeah, we're all huge fans. Actually, we were fans of the album and of the band before we got the gig. So we're really excited for this one. We're gonna
have a ticket.
You have a ticket. I don't think you'll need that.
Yeah, now
you want to come to Ireland?
To go to the gig. Yeah,
I have a ticket for you here. If you want to catch a plane over.
So awesome. So big things coming up. So are you guys, I know you're just going to release an album, but are you always like in writing mode? Do you have like ideas flowing, or are you gonna like see what happens with this one and maybe later start working on other stuff?
I think before we were pretty much in writing mode the whole time, but the last couple of months since we've recorded the album, we've kind of we just stepped back a little bit because we were full on writing mode for the last year.
Just kind of started now, like
we have a new songs we're starting to work on now, but well, you guys are a bit ahead of me actually. I have to catch up a little bit.
We're focusing now is kind of everything on the album and on the gig. So.
And all the gigs associated that. We want to be tight. We want to be ready to show off these songs live, you know.
Yeah. But I reckon after summer, when summer's over, in the fall, we're gonna start rehearsing and getting those new songs together.
Proper,
yeah.
Exciting, actually.
Good times. It's been great chatting with you guys, and I'm glad I got this promo and I got to listen, because I like to listen to new music. You know, there's some people when they get old, they're like, listen to new music, you know, like Sebastian, who just said that. Oh, I'm like, no, new music, no.
Don't worry, we show him plenty of new stuff, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah. So.
No, but definitely these guys are definitely helping me to kind of keep in touch. I was just saying to the guys the other day, it's like, to me, they were talking about Lamb of God, you know, and I was like, to me, Lamb of God is still a new band.
They're 25 years old.
I was like, that's a new band, and it's like, fuck, they're like over, 20.
They're like 30 years old or something like. As a band,
they're not new now. They're not new. So anything. So the last question for you guys before I let you guys go, like, if someone that hasn't heard the band Uragh, which song would you say, listen to this song to get a sense of what the band is all about?
Modea Ma, for me, I'd say.
Yeah, agree.
Modea Ma. the last song on the album.
That's a great song, great album closer.
It gives us, I think it gives a nice example of all the elements of Uragh in a way.
And it really is the song that shaped us as a band and
Mhm.
as the musicians we are in a band. I think that's really the song where we really found each other and our kind of sound and the way, the path we want to pursue.
Yeah.
And we kind of abandoned the first things we were working on, and Mo Diama kind of set us on the path towards Maelstrom and what
Maelstrom, yeah.
now. So I think in the tiny, very short history of the band, Mo Diama is like maybe the most important song. So I'd also say listen to Mo Diama.
They're all great.
Graves' singing is gorgeous on this one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
He gets the clean vocal style out very nicely in that song.
Yeah. What about you, Marcelo?
I think that I agree. Like now with the reasoning that because I'm just like remembering how it was like to first play and to first see it, to see the music like getting live. So this was quite good. I would put like kind of similar to Modiaman and Capsize. For me, they're kind of the same era, but those two are very important for the same reasons. Whatever came after was because what those two songs brought to us.
They set the template for
exactly.
what was to come.
Awesome. So I wish, a lot of success for Uragh. I really enjoyed the album, and I would recommend that if you listening to this, all the bands that we're talking about, like they're a band that take chances. There's experimentation, there's like heaviness, there's like alternative side to them. So if you like all the bands that we've been speaking, give them a listen. Right now, there's 2 music videos, so you can watch the music video for Monarch, even the behind the scenes look about them doing it in the beach, which is pretty entertaining, and the widening gyre. Those 2 videos are online now. I'll put some links for people who want to see that video, and for people who want to pre-order digitally the album when it comes out on April the 19th. So again, thank you for joining me today virtually on the couch, and until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.